And we are live, and I hope you guys can. A lot of technical difficulties today with the mic. Internet should be good now, and I had to do some restarting with my PC and mic just to make sure everything's working because it was giving me a lot of issues. So, how is everybody doing? What's happening? Sorry for the lateness. Just running on some technical difficulties. Can you guys hear me? We're starting. Okay, we're starting in 5 minutes too. Just let me know if you guys can hear me, because I know usually these things are. Because I think you guys can hear me. You guys can hear me. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, cool. All right, it begins, guys. It begins. The search begins. And what I mean by the search the search that begins, it's the search to the Robotaxi until that day. I think there's going to be sell the news event until that day, in my opinion. Of course, the tariffs and stuff helps a lot for the whole market. I do believe that as well. But it begins, guys. I hope you guys are ready. Let's go. Solutions. Every single video, live, comment. Love it. Absolutely love it, man. Appreciate it. Hey, bro, are you going to talk about something new or will it be the same Tesla pumped? Oh, man, suckers. Suckers. This guy. I hope you're around when the stock 10x's, dude. I just hope you're around. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. What's going on? Yeah, I know I'm here now. What's going on? Henry, hope all is well. Yes, perfect. You all can hear me. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's flip and go. Sheesh, that's a lot of shares, bro. That's a lot of shares. So we are starting in about less than 5 minutes. So let me go ahead and get that set up. But yeah, though, this week the stock is up about 5%. And this goes to my little theory that the stock's going to go up until the Robotaxi day. So it's going, and then the higher it goes, once the Robotaxi day gets launched on June 1st, of course, it's not going to be for the public. It's going to be for, I think, more testing. I think it'll be the sell news event on that day, but I think maybe 10 to 15%, not too much. As well as we have the tariffs news coming out. So that also brought the stock, the whole market up, really. So if we could get more deals, if China and the US can sit down and actually make a deal, man, I think the stock is going to go up. And Tesla's going to be part of that too. It's going to be awesome. I'm ready to start the spaces. Let's see if she will start it. So might as well share the screen, right? Let's see what happens. Share the screen here with y'all. There we go. Let's do this. I'm sure you guys are ready. Grab your popcorn. If you guys want to come and talk, you guys can join the space and request. That'd be a lot of fun. Every Saturday we do this. Make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I love you all. Yes, Henry, let's flip and go, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, man. Kathy reiterates her $2,600 stock price. But, I mean, she just postponed it 1 year after to 2030. So she said some interesting things in this interview. You guys should check out. I made a video about that today as well. So you guys will find some pretty it was a bombshell in my opinion. It was a pretty good bombshell. Hello from Montreal, from Sweden. Sweden, hell yeah, love it. You think they will announce a Tesla Robo bus on Robot? No, I don't think so. I don't think they'll announce anything, to be honest. I think they're just going to start without, thinking about anything. Brand damage is far worse than anything possible. Let's talk about that in a year. I don't think brand damage is going to be much of an issue in a year from now. It was 2,000 by 2027, and then there we go. By 2,600 by 2029, then by 2030 in a few months. Yeah, look, dude, it's a prediction, man. Don't get frustrated. My stock price prediction is for 2030 is 3,000. We'll probably get half of that. I'm not gonna lie. All right, we're gonna start. Here we go. Start listening. Nice. We are in. Let's see if we can hear everybody. Okay. Oh, wait, I'm not hearing them. 1 second, guys. Hold on, let me just accept this.
Hello. Happy everyone.
There we go.
How's it going? Oh,
Hello.
in California. Yo, Pejjy, what up, dude?
What's going on? How's everybody? How's everyone doing? Perfect.
I know for sure Brandon doing good because he in beautiful Thailand.
Sheesh, wait, he's
He's
in Thailand
taking
right now, isn't he?
vacation. Yeah, he's taking vacation before take a job at
Nice,
Tesla. Life is
nice.
good. The thing is, Brandon gonna get to buy Tesla share on sale, right? What with that? I need my kid to grow up fast, and I should be a sales person at Tesla too. I should be
He's
like, hey, you guys, you want a car? Here is super cheap. It's go very fast. So I want to set
true.
the stage today with Elon vision.
Okay.
I want to listen to you talking about his vision that he said Tesla will worth $30 trillion.
Kathy Woods,
Trillion,
huh?
do- 30 trillion. What the fuck? That's a lot of money. Do you see the interview when he said the robotaxi and the bot combined, it will be 30 trillion. It
Who
will, the value of the company will be more than eight, max seven combined. Whoa.
who said this? Elon?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, yeah. He
The
did
interview.
an
Yeah.
interview. When was this? The interview? I think I missed
I
this
gonna
one.
I gonna pin it on
Yeah,
top.
pin
Let me
it.
go
I know
find
he.
it.
I know
Yeah.
he talked about it in Q1 earnings, but I don't an interview. I mean, I didn't see this one. That's gonna be interesting.
Okay, give me a moment, but tell me your thought about this. The 30 trillion is a lot of. Right now, we under the trillion, so it's 30x from now. Do you see it? Do you believe him? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I have to listen to what he has to say. The 30 trillion, I did not hear that yet, but I know today or yesterday, Kathy was talking about how the humanoid robots is like a $26 trillion market opportunity, revenue opportunity. And what's crazy about that is that, well, I mean, these guys do their research, deep research, so I'm sure they know more than me. Oh, I see it, Fa. Oh, yeah, yeah, I see it. Okay, yeah, Elon Musk says robotaxi could make 5 trillion, make Tesla 5 trillion company. Yeah, this is from last year. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, I remember this is from last year. He did say this. Yeah, he said about 5 trillion would be robotaxi, and then 25 trillion would be Optimus. Quite frankly, I mean, just yesterday, uh, Kathy Woods said that the 26 trillion market revenue opportunity is for the humanoid robots, and growing, of course. And you know, how much of that can Tesla? How much shares of that can Tesla take? And let's say, let's say 10%. I mean, of course, it'll be more than 10%, maybe 20%, 25%. Chinese are coming hard, but let's just keep it conservative, very conservative actually, and say 10%. 10% of 2.6, 26, 2.6. Half of that is, I mean, the bot industry. The thing about the humanoid robots is that, I mean, I'm more into the Tesla for the Robotaxi and FSD, but I mean, I am learning more about the bots every day. It looks like the bots, the margins of these guys are going to be around the 50% mark, which is mind boggling because it's not just selling the bot or leasing the bot, it's maintenance, software updates, buying apps, showing it, you know, um, just like how you buy apps on your phone, it'll be the same thing for the bot. If you want to do a certain technique, you got to pay for it or something like that. I think that's how they're going to do it. But all that costs a lot of money. As a software as a service or robot as a service, whatever you want to call it, that's around a 50% margin, right? So let's say, 2.6 trillion Tesla does, I don't know when, but going based on that 26 trillion revenue opportunity, half of that, 1.3, let's say 1 trillion is just profits. I mean, that hurts my brain. Imagine a company is just making a trillion in profits. Like it's crazy. Like I can't, my brain can't comprehend that. That's the thing. That's why with robo taxis I can see it happening, but with the bot it's just, I mean, it hurts my brain. But let's go with it, right? 1 trillion profits. Let's say. What's a PE? What's a proper PE you can put on that? What's a good multiple you can put on that? 5? Well, how could you put a low? I mean, 5 or 10 is like what you would put a multiple on a company where they're dying or they're not, or they're just maintaining. Tesla's not going to be maintaining; they're going to be growing and heavy with high margins. I mean, Apple right now is what, 30 PE, and they're going 6% a year with 32% margins. That doesn't sound like what I mean, you can't. I don't see that happening to Tesla either with robots, and that's just one sector of the company, by the way, right? So, what do you give it, a 50, 60 PE with a trillion profit? That's a 50, 60 billion trillion market valuation. That's a 60x from now, 70x. Like, you know what I mean? It's when you look at it, it looks crazy, and I don't like. That's what I mean. The bot is absolutely mind-boggling. Yeah, it's crippling. It's mind-crippling for me. But that's what Kathy was saying, and then yesterday Elon, or what you just pinned here last year, what Elon said about 25 trillion Optimus. He also said it, like, I think last year, I think it was a Texas shareholder meeting or something. He's expecting Tesla to be worth around the 30 trillions as well. I mean, these are big numbers, but they have to actually happen, right? So we have to see what happens with these bots, see what happens with these humanoid robots. Right now, Robotaxi is what, like 3 weeks away, um, just for the launch. I don't think anything's going to happen on the day of the launch. I think what's going to happen is that we're going to see um, driverless Teslas, some 10 to 20, as they mentioned themselves, in Austin going around, but not picking up actual people. They're actual. I think it's going to be actual employees that they're going to be continue testing it in the city. Elon said either end of June or end of July it'll be open for the public. That's when the real things are going to start. That's when it's going to be go time. And I think there will be a sell the news event on the day when June 1st. It's just how the stock is. Um, until we see some good outcome, or not outcome, but I don't want to say financials either, because we're not going to get anything out of that until maybe Q4 earnings or something like that with some good guidance. But I think there's going to be a lot of FUD coming out of it. Oh, Tesla, they did this. Oh, technical issues, and then you have fraud Lamebert coming out with his stupid articles, um, doing some talking about some stupid garbage, and in promoting FUD as well. And I think we'll see that for the first month or so with the Robotaxi launch, and then afterwards, I think it's going to be, once it's open to the public, I think we're going to see some really interesting things. We're going to see people in the car to the Robotaxi going, and we're going to see a lot of videos of it. Free advertisement. That's what Tesla does all the time, right? They get. So I think we're going to see that, and I think by September or October onwards, it's going to get better and better and better, in my opinion. So that's it's going to be exciting. I'm very excited for that. We have Joseph here. Oh my, we have to do a podcast. I love it.
Good morning. What's up?
How you doing, Joseph? And Brendan's here as well. How are you guys doing?
Doing great, man.
I'm doing fine. How is everyone?
Everyone seems to be.
I'm great. Good to see you guys here. Welcome, Joseph. So I got so excited about this 30 trillion number. Just like Pejjy say, last few days, Katie Wood is go on air talking about her number, her price target, by 2030, 26,000. So I'm just like, is Tesla gonna do that thing again when this go 10x, 20x very fast? That's what I wonder. Um, Disclaimer: I'm not doing any option, nothing, because I don't. I'm scared. I just want to add share and just hold it. It's my stock. I hold it. It's my belonging. I don't want to gamble with it. However, people who actually have got to do it, this is a time. How do you see it? How do you see Elon go from right now at about 300 to 30 to What is Pejjy just say? 60x, 70x? So I
Yeah.
would like to hear from you, my friend. Yeah. Who want to go first? How about Joseph?
Yeah, everything I say is nothing I say is financial advice, obviously. But I basically starting this week. I'm stopping any selling any cover call. I don't want to risk losing any share because of the run up. So now it's approaching 300. So my strategy right now is just to stay put, continue holding the shares. If I see any good pricing for lips, I may think about getting lips. You probably know, most of you heard about the interview with Emmett and Fasad. I think Emmett mentioned that he's looking into the 600 strike price for June 2027. I looked at it last night. The pricing is pretty good. You need a double to, but the return is like 16x to 18x with the current pricing. So the return is good. The upside is good. The downside is not as painful as it used to be. So I feel like it's a good thing to look into now into lips. But of course, I'm not going to go all in on lips. Maybe just buying a few contract here and there. But yeah, so I'm stopping on the selling of a call, hopefully to not missing out the capital being deployed. But in the meantime, I just don't want to lose a share. The run up may happen anytime. God knows, right? It just nobody can predict any stock price movement short term. So yeah, I just gonna wait and see. When I have some side money, I will continue to buy share. But in the meantime, I feel like the momentum is on our side.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how Robotaxi execution gonna be. In the beginning, people say, 20 vehicle, not such a big deal. But you can see if things are running well, Tesla can easily continue to release cars into the Robotaxi network. It's just a matter of time and how safe it is, really, end to end. So we just have to closely monitor the deployment. As far as date, people keep saying June 1st. Is it really June 1st, or we hoping to be June 1st? I don't think we get any confirmation on the exact date, right, guys?
No, I think we did get something from, I think Tesla themselves. They put a post counting down when is June 1st. So we're all thinking that, oh, okay, it's gonna be June 1st.
Right. Yeah, but I don't think it's confirmed. It could be something. I don't know. I just don't want to keep my hope up. That, hey, June 1st, and then nothing happened, and then get disappointed. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but I think because they don't need to wait for a specific date to start. That's the crazy part, because they're just gonna say, okay, here's 1020 Model Ys. All right, we're just gonna start it. That's it. I mean, they could even start now if
Right.
they want. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think we're not gonna get any public opinions on it until they actually open it up for paid sharing, paid ride sharing, which I think won't happen until either end of June or maybe end of July. So
Yeah.
let's see.
And one interesting thing, maybe we should keep track of. Now we are 20 days away from June 1st.
Hmm.
What other indicator will tell us that things are still on track? Are we looking for more update from Elon? Are we expecting maybe some kind of invite for the launch event, or will there be any public notification announcement we expecting to see, or it just secretly launch um, whenever it's ready? I don't know. It's just that I feel like we need to monitor what are those indicator milestones from now until June 1st that can tell us things are on track or not. But it's very exciting. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we waited for this for like how many years? So I can't wait to see it happen in real life.
Yeah, I'm
Thank you guys. Back to
excited.
you.
So true. So true. I've been like, oh my God, these people who work in AI in Palo Alto, they make magic happen. The car gonna go by itself. And it's not just a small city like San Francisco. It's gonna be everywhere. I listened to Herbert and CERN talking about like, and they showed a beautiful graph, and they say like, it's just a few city that Tesla try, and then when it's understand that city, it can be everywhere in America, and I'm so glad Trump has Elon voice next to his ear, like first buddy. When it's work in America, oh my God, everywhere in the world gonna want this technology. And I hear it, Prague, I think Prague, they're gonna allow the Robotaxi there. This you guys heard about this? This is excited. Imagine it's everywhere in the world with Tesla Robotaxi. It's just like, oh, mind boggling. And I'm so excited about the bot because I think they're gonna make it quick. It's easier than make a car. So when they be able to pump out the bot, I'm like, whoa. I'm addicted to my phone. I have iPhone, and every app I want, this is my spoil to myself. I just download it and I just play with it, and I just have fun. If I don't have to watch my kid, I be on my phone all the time. And I think bot is gonna be like that. I gonna have one robot here, and I gonna be like, okay, go do dishes. Okay, today I want some Indian food. I don't know how to make it. Download a recipe and go get the stuff and go make it. And hey, I gonna download the thing that is like massage my foot at night, like give me foot massage. And I gonna download the app that is can teach MJ math and science because I'm not good at it. I'm excited.
Oh, by the way, Far, have you seen the Robotaxi? I mean, the Cyber Cab before, or the Waymo?
Yeah, I saw Waymo all over San Francisco,
Okay.
but it cannot come to my house because like you have to across
Mm.
get across the Golden Gate Bridge.
Hmm.
So I only see them in the city.
Okay.
And funny, I actually see them in an accident one time. It's drive into the bus stop and it just stuck there. Like the wheel is actually get on the curb in a bus stop. Not good. Yeah.
Yeah, I was keep thinking, because Waymo, after all, is already up and running, but Cybercab is similar, like drive itself, all cool. What's the difference? But I just want to say, if anyone have attend the 1010 event in person and sit in the Cybercab, raise your hand and let me know. It's completely, totally different riding experience. In a Waymo, you're basically a passenger seat in the back. You cannot really see the windshield because you're blocked by two seats in front of you. There's a driving wheel on the left. The car doesn't feel like any different from any other vehicle out there. But when you sit in the cybercab, when I sit in the cybercab, the first experience I have is like I feel like I'm sitting in a personal theater because there's no steering wheel, there's nothing
Mm.
to look at, nothing to tell you whether the car is going to turn left or right because there's no steering wheel. My focus was solely focusing on the screen, the really gigantic screen. I can play games, I can watch movie. I was watching Dune when they give us a ride. The surround sound is awesome, and you basically feel like you're in a very personal space where you can focus on your task. You no longer have to drive because there's no steering wheel, there's no pedal to take away your focus and attention. So now you focus on the thing in front of you, which is like entertainment, or get your laptop out and start doing work, or just listen to music. It's a completely different experience, completely different. And I think that will shock a lot of people who take the cybercab for the first time. Like, holy shit, I can be doing a bunch of my thing without worry about going places, and it's such a comfortable environment. Um, yeah, it's completely different. It's completely different. It really feels next level compared to Waymo. But you have to take the ride yourself to experience that. Uh, Even though the space is the overall size of Cybercab is smaller, but because there's only two-seater, so there's tons of leg room. I think it's equally, if not more leg room than my Cybertruck. The seat is wide. There's no. It's not really tucked you very tightly. It's very loose. It feels like a lounge and feel like a sofa. Um, and the gigantic cup holder in the middle. You can put your lunchbox or charge your phone. It's like It's really like a sofa in the living room. It's really awesome. How amazing it is.
That's awesome. I think when the robotaxi with no like the experience that you described, when it's go in real life, it's gonna break the internet.
Mm.
Every kid
Yes.
gonna be like, I want to TikTok in it. I'm so excited. I'm like, yo. And what am I excited the most? I want my car to drive itself. Today I got kicked off. FSD is keep blinking like because I'm trust is so good. I don't even want to drive anymore. And I'm like pull my phone up. I want to go what happened on X and my car just like beep beep beep. Hey, you're looking at your phone too much. I just like, dude, I paid 10 grand for it. Make it work. Brandon, hello.
Hey, that's really, really funny, Fa. So, I just wanted to come on and just say, like, I've just been never bullish. I've never been so, like, I have so much conviction with everything that is happening at Tesla. I just think that there's just so much good news. And for me, like even any of the turbulence, oh, and I'm sorry if there's any noise. I had to come down to my lobby to come and join because my family is sleeping. It's almost 3 a.m. here. But anyway, um, but yeah, so I've just never had any more conviction, even with like some of the headwinds that we have to face. Like, I feel like if you zoom out any more than 2 years, maybe like that's the time horizon, like to really see like the start of these crazy gains. And I'm sure that we're going to see things up until the event, and there will be some bad days, there will be bad headlines. I'm not saying that there won't, but like if you zoom out, if you have 2 years of time to just park your money and like continue, like if you want to buy leaps as Mr. Joseph is, or just accumulate as much shares as possible. And this is not financial advice. I just think that if you have like longer than a 2 year horizon, like you will be set. If you have a 5, a 10 year, a 20, or even a 30 year, like it's like just imagining the possibilities are just endless. And for me, I'm 23. I just sold my house. And I like put all of it into Tesla. I now officially have 1,000 shares. My average cost went up humongously, but like again, if you can park your money for a few years, like I don't see why not. Another thing that I wanted to say is that I've never seen the Cybercab in person, but I mean, just for me, like experiencing FSD in a hardware 4 vehicle is just all you really need. I personally have a 2023 Model 3. It's a LFP, so it is hardware 3. um, and like even that like drives me like 99% of the time. The only time I really ever like disengage is if I'm late. Like if I'm like late to a function, or like I need to speed. I'm sorry. Oh gosh, I'm not trying to promote that, but I'm just saying, if I need to get somewhere in 10 minutes, but the GPS says 20, I'm going to take over, and that's literally the only other time. If I have to make phone calls for work, if I have to do anything that I don't necessarily need to pay attention to the road, or I'm not in any rush, my hardware 3 car is driving me. Now, my family has multiple hardware 4 cars, and me personally, driving a hardware 3 car for, 6 months at a time and then going back home and like experiencing hardware 3 in New York City, in Boston, in these crazy cities, like it's unfathomable that
Mm.
like anyone who is able to experience, and I want to say hardware 4, because I think that that's a distinction. But if you're able to experience a hardware 4 car on FSD and like literally for the past 2 months, like It doesn't matter what update you're on. Like literally, it is just mind blowing. The car thinks, you can see it. Like there are times where like I will want to change lanes and like I'm like reaching for the indicator stalk or the button on the like steering wheel, and it's doing it already. There are certain times where like I'm paying attention and like all I hear is beep 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 beep, and then the car is doing an evasive maneuver and I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything until it already happened. You know, it's just like all these things are just what anyone really needs to be bullish. And I'm sorry that I've been talking for the past 5 minutes, but at the end of the day, like, I don't know, like it's just written, like it's like almost guaranteed. Again, not financial advice, but like it's just written. And if you just experience it, like and I don't believe that if you just go to a Tesla dealership, like, yeah, like I'm sure that you'll be able to experience the FSD for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, but like experiencing it over longer periods of time, like as it gets better, is just like that is just not a red flag. It's a green flag for me. Like, so that's why I felt comfortable with selling my house and being like, hey, mom and dad, I'm going to like rent now. I'm doing this, and they're like, no, don't do it, you shouldn't do this and that, you know. And they are Tesla owners, they own a lot of Teslas, but they're like kind of uh impacted by the Elon stuff going on. They're very liberal, and I'm not trying to get
Mm.
political here, but they have this idea that there's this brand damage, so they're not trying to support him anymore. But they do appreciate that they understand it's the number one car that you can buy, and it has all the tech. But anyway, I get a little bit sidetracked. I told them, hey, I'm selling my house. Like I'm just going all in on this because I want to do that. I don't want to take out margin. And for me, like, I don't really need to have a home because I could be on the move. I just got hired by Tesla, and I'm hoping that, you know, within a year, like, they're like, hey, like, do you want this job in management or anything like that? I'm starting at the bottom just to let you guys know. It's just customer service representative. So it's like really on the bottom. But for me, like getting in on the ground floor is all that I really want. I want to have the options to buy stock. I want the benefits. I want the opportunity to be promoted and grow within the company. So anyway, yeah, yes. That was a lot. But moral of the story, if you have someone or if you own a hardware 4 or even hardware 3, just try FSD and tell people about it, because I really believe in the next 2 to 6 months, like people are gonna kind of forget that like
Mm.
Elon was a part of Doge. They're gonna
Oh
say
yeah.
like, oh my God, like these Teslas are driving around by themselves, and the kids like people like that are below 30, 40, 50 are all they're gonna be amazed. And when people realize that the cost structure of the whole thing can one make you money, or like can even replace you having a car, especially in these high insurance places or these high energy cost or high gas cost places, like it's just a matter of time that people are like, why am I paying $600 a month for this car that like I may drive like 2 hours every week when I can just pay $10 to get to the same place, you know? So for me, that's all I need. So but anyway, that was my TED talk. Yes, thank you.
You're very welcome, my friend. You're doing great. If I'm your sister, I'll be like 2 thumb up. Just pack your bag and go. Go to the earth, go to the world, go to the nature, go wherever you want to go. But buy Tesla. Thumb up, my friend. This is I did give the liberal friend to try my full self driving. I put her in the driver's seat and say, "Hey, let's go drive my Tesla." And I just have her drive on full self driving. And she just it's blow her mind. She's just like, wow, this is a mom. It's helping you. You don't have to pay attention to the road. The car take care of it. If your kid cry, you can just like, okay, what do you need, right? And I'm like, just imagine people who invent this stuff go stealing your money. She didn't like that, my joke, but I put it out there for fun. I think I'm get so excited about all of this, my friend. Like I listen to a lot of Tesla content. Pejjy, thank you for all your work. Everything. It's just like it's easy to hold this stuff, and
Not
they're
really.
gonna come at Elon because he different. If you Elon fan like me, you probably read the two book, his biography, and it's a show on
Oh shoot, you
Netflix.
changed your
I don't
name,
know. It's
man.
about
I didn't know that.
SpaceX,
Welcome,
and
Dennis. Thank you.
in
Now I know.
YouTube
Now
is a
I
lot
know
of
that this is you.
Elon stuff.
Sheesh.
Like if you spend your time actually study him as a person, he did magic shit. You know what I mean? Like he's an inventor, he's a visionary, and he actually like his track record speak for itself. So Joe here, I I I'm I've been friend with Joe on been following Joe on X back in when it's Twitter. He understand it. I recommend everybody to go watch YouTube between Joseph and Pejjy. It is like
Oh,
I'm just
Joseph.
sit
Yeah.
in my car, listen to them, and I'm like, yeah, yeah, right. It is so good. I'm like, this is how I look at it. If I come to America with my bachelor degree in Thailand, which is useless here, I study political science, right? And if I want to go to school here and get something that actually can go work on, like whatever project manager, go work for the Silicon Valley. But I have to go to school for 4 years plus another 2 years if they ask for a master degree, 6 years of school, and that is gonna be like a lot of money. But instead, I just started Tesla.
Just buy
Like the
Tesla
book,
stock.
yeah, I just buy Tesla stock and hold it for 6 years.
Oh god.
And I don't even have to work. I can go to the park twice a day. I can go to the lake. I can go swim. I can go Lake Tahoe, whatever. I just spend my time by myself doing my shit. And Tesla, Elon, Robotaxi and robot will work for me. Brandon, right?
Sheesh.
It's
Hey,
it's depend to your time horizon. I have another good 20 years, so I'm all set. All right, Pejjy, go.
Now I'm curious to know. We have Ted. I think it's Tesla here, which is it's like Ted Tesla. I know he had his hand up there. You want to say anything, my man?
Brandon, you said you got a job offer at Tesla at the store level?
yes, yeah, I did. I just applied. Well, I went there to get service done, and I started talking to the employees, and they were like, "Hey, like we think you'd be a good fit," and I was just like, "Hey, like what is the experience here, or like what is the like day to day here?" And they're like, "We're all hands on," and like this one guy was like, "I started here 6 months ago, and now I'm a manager." They were talking about the growth.
Crazy.
So they
What
set me
country
up.
are you in?
Well, currently I'm in Thailand, but I live in the U.S. It's at the Atlanta in Georgia. So if you
Got it.
guys want to come out, I'd be working at the Decatur uh, location if anyone's in Atlanta.
Yeah, Decatur's a good store.
Hmm.
I'm ex Tesla. I worked there for about 5.5 years.
Oh,
Survived like 8 rounds of layoffs.
nice.
Opened the majority of the stores in the Northeast too. So yeah, let me know if you need any advice or something like that. But I will say, it is a meritocracy. If you don't perform, you're out. I'm just gonna
Mm,
be dead serious. I've had to fire many people just because they stuck at their job or whatever it may be. But yeah, it's a tumultuous time. So get ready for the questions of, oh, has Elon walked by? What happens if Tesla goes bankrupt? What if FSD doesn't work? Blah 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 blah. But my point and what I was going to say, and sorry if I have kids in the background here, for the case of FSD, for me, and I believe Elon agrees with this too, FSD is really fundamentally an ethical thing where if it's out there, everybody should have it. Simply because the worst version of FSD now is better than any person driving without FSD on their bloody cell phone. Um, and like that, like let that sink in. And if you don't believe that, just look around in any of the roads in America. I'm not even going into other countries yet, Asia, India, blah blah blah. This whole other set of issues there. You go on like a highway in America, middle America, south, southern part of America, the Northeast. The scariest thing you will see is everybody is on their phones, and no, not everybody is door dashing. That's the scariest thing you'll see. And um, yeah, that's something I picked up afterwards, and I was one of those employees who were telling people not to buy FSD in the early part or in the early days when that first demo was really revealed, and customers are like, "Wait, you're anti-selling me a product?" I'm like, "Absolutely, I'm anti-selling you a product, but I'm still selling you the safest car on the road today. I'm not going to sell you a promise, right?" And I have fully flipped that tune about 6 months ago. My truck drives me 104 miles daily with zero interventions. And I was talking to that clown, what is it, James Cat or whatever the Tesla Cat guy, whatever it was. I have like 7,000 miles with zero interventions. He's like, "Oh my God, I've never heard a number that long." It's like, well, I kind of have a life outside of X, and I'm not going to post what my intervention stats are. I'm not whole Mars blog or anything like that. Ain't nobody got time for that, right? So,
Wow.
yeah, there's a lot of these stories where FSD is saving lives every day, and just because you don't hear about it, and we're on this echo chamber and mainstream media chamber, um, it's hard to cut through the noise, even when you're a Tesla employee. Sometimes, especially as a Tesla employee, and that like a little word of unsolicited advice here. You're gonna see a lot of the weird stuff. As a person who helped launch Model X, you're gonna see a lot of the weird stuff, and
Hmm.
I'll say don't let that taint your view of the rest of the product portfolio and the roadmap.
Wow. No, that was incredible. Nice. So wait, you were a manager before?
Um, I didn't have an official title, put it that way, but uh, I was involved in many things. Yeah, that's
They
all I'll say.
make you wear so many hats, I believe. What an incredible experience. Now I have a question.
Hmm.
My kid almost go to school. I want to get a job to sell Tesla. I want to be a pretty girl in front and say, "Hi, how's it going? Would you like to take a car out for a spin? This is very fast. This one even faster. This one is about to fly. This one roaster. Which one would you like? How do I get a job? What are they looking for? And what is a discount as a Tesla employee? Can you tell us? I'm excited.
Well, I mean, I've been gone for a bit, but there are no discounts on cars, so that's 100% true. But they do have employee leases, and from time to time they do offer FSD if you purchase a car at zero cost.
Oh.
Granted, there's a stipulation you have to stay there for 3+ years, etc. It could be different now. It could be different now. But obviously, if you perform, you do get stock options. They have employee share purchase programs. But fundamentally, it's pretty run of the mill. A lot of other companies offer that as well. Um, but what I will say though is even after I left, I still stand by the statement. There is no company that operates. Probably SpaceX. I have a cousin who's at SpaceX, but um,
Hmm.
it's very rare to see a company operate in the way that Tesla operates, and I will say it's not for everybody. And for a lot of people that I trained there, who I saw struggle with it, I'm like, you probably don't belong here. you probably belong at like a slower paced company or whatever it may be. Just get real with yourself. It's better to leave on your own terms and not be miserable if you suck and you just don't vibe with the culture. Um, but going back to the question, how do you get a job there? Well, really depends on what you're good at. Some people are better at service. Some people are better at sales. You know, a lot of the people, they go the direct sales route. So you typically start off as like a Tesla advisor and you can move your way up, right? And I'm talking about the states outside of the Austins and the California, and where if you perform and you communicate properly and you refine things and truly add value, you actually move around very, very fast. I really can't say that for a lot of other companies.
Yeah, and I also just wanted to input here. That's what a lot of the employees that I spoke to said. I went into a collision center because I needed like my trunk was like kind of like ajar away. But anyway, and they were all saying the same exact thing, about just it's fast paced. You have to be good at your job. Like there's not a lot of time to waste, and like there's a lot of multiple hat wearing. Oh, I think I said that wrong, I'm sorry.
I
But
mean,
you
it's true
have,
as long as
yeah.
you're good at what you do, right?
Hmm.
So if you suck and you're just spreading yourself too thin, it's going to be a disservice to you. I'm just being totally completely real. I remember I had like employees trying to help out service, and I'm like, dude, you're a total dumbass with service. You can't make anything, even a Lego set. Go back to the sales floor and like talk about Tesla Solar or something. This is just not for you. Simply enough, a good manager is going to identify that, right? And then I would have people who are product specialists at the time come in and give everybody the whole spiel about Model S and show them things that absolutely don't matter when the average person's attention span is about 30 seconds. A good manager is going to train them and refine the pitch and fulfill people's needs, right? Um, you got to hone in and really be good, because like, and well, probably not so much Decatur, but I can tell you in the New Yorks and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, we've had Elon pop in, or May popped in, right? And you got to make sure you're on point with at certain places. And if you don't know your stuff, you're out. Like, it's very simple. Like, that's it. For the record, I left voluntarily. I survived like 8 rounds of layoffs. It was ridiculous, and I turned down some rather large positions in the company, and for family reasons, I don't really regret it. But I did leave on my own terms. Yeah.
Hmm.
Jeez.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say one thing. Another thing about working with Tesla are
She
the
said,
benefits.
"Sheesh."
You also get them on day one. Most jobs aren't really like that, or from my experience, aren't like that either. And I really like that as well. And for anyone out there who actually does want to work, I would recommend. I mean, I haven't even started yet, but just from my story, just reaching out to a recruiter. But you kind of have to like be a good fit. Like look for a job that like is a good fit for you, that you think that you have good experience for, and just apply. It starts off kind of as a conversation, and then you get interviewed, and you meet the team and all that stuff. And like I think that if you think that you are a good fit and you are able to sell yourself that way, like you should be able to get a job. Like that's just my experience, but I haven't started yet. So, but yeah.
Yeah, you're probably going to be posting a lot less on X too. Just giving you a heads up.
Oh, I'm sure of that. Yeah, they said
You're gonna
12-hour
have to be.
shifts.
No, I mean you're gonna have to. There is a team that does channel checks and make sure you're not posting anything crazy. Just
Oh, damn.
literally, don't be surprised.
Oh, oh, they
Yeah.
didn't even tell me that yet, but okay.
No, it's it's
Thank
it's it's common knowledge. It's common knowledge.
you.
But yeah, it'll be in your offer letter and all that kind of stuff when you sign for it.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, it makes sense. They don't want any leaks. I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's for any company, but for something that's like as hypersensitive as Tesla, like
mhm.
It's something I didn't appreciate until after I left. And for the record, like this is probably like the first space where I publicly have been telling people, I actually was part of Tesla, and to give people like a scope, like I started when we only had the Model S with the nose cone.
Sheesh. No, that's sick.
Wow, I hope you still hold your stock. You must have a
Yeah,
very
yeah, yeah.
low
I
cost
do.
base.
Yeah, I do fine. I mean, with some portion of Tesla, I bought like a Lamborghini Huracan New a couple years back. Then when it dipped down to $100, I sold that shit right away just so I could buy back in because I'm like, this is retarded. I'm gonna absolutely buy more. Um, I do okay, but to give some perspective also, just for Brandon and I don't know anybody looking at Tesla and stuff. I was like considered, low level retail employee at the time or whatever it is. But, I met Elon twice. I helped roll out I helped every single product roll out. Uh, Found myself even like ending up at the test track at Fremont at one point. It was like the most insane, uh, like it was an insane time for me personally. And I'll preface by saying, like that was my second job. During that whole time, I was basically working 100 hours a week between two jobs, and my main job is actually in finance. So,
Jeez.
like, yeah, it was insane, genuinely insane.
Can I ask you a question? I'm actually a finance background, but I have a lot of customer service. I used to work for a record label for quite some time, and that's how I was able to like make money out of college. And I would love to. I mean, maybe we can talk off off of spaces, but I would just love to like pick your brain about like how I can progress or how you think that I can progress. I know that I have to like work my way up, but I would just really appreciate that.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll also preface by saying that, yeah, I was finance in undergrad, and just to give you an idea of when I graduated, I was sitting in the Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers interview rooms a week before both these banks went under. So, was supposed to be hardcore investment banker, blah blah blah. Ended up in corporate finance, and then stumbled upon Tesla to the point where before I even joined the company, I was like sparring with Oswald de Motoran, about corporate valuation and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, in terms of advice, yeah, sure. Ping me, DM me as long as I can talk, and I will say like network in a way that's natural and organic in the company. Don't be full of shit. Just being real with you. Um, and like you'll do more than fine, right? I mean, don't be over eager. Think about what the customer wants, right? Like for example, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. A customer would come in asking about, oh, what's the charging speed of a Model S or a Model 3 or whatever it is. And the worst response you could possibly give is, well, actually, we have different superchargers. We can go from 150 kilowatts to 250 kilowatts. Now, actually, like, the charging speed it's really good, and it depends on the batteries that you have, LFP pack. Maybe you have a 4680 cell, blah 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 blah. You give them the whole spiel, you've lost the customer at the time already. It's a very simple response. It's what's the charging speed? All right. How often do you drive before a bathroom break? Because your bladder will give out before you run out of battery. Done. Right. Explain supercharging speeds to me. How does it work? Well, actually, if you run the pack down from to zero, it charges a lot faster. How about this? Instead, think of it this way. Think of an empty mall parking lot. It's easier to find a parking spot. It'll take less time to find a parking spot when it's more empty. And the more full it gets, the longer it takes you to find a parking spot. That's your charging curve, right? So like little things like that to make the customer experience a lot better, it'll go a long way. And this is fundamentally one of those things that in Tesla's that separates a good manager and a good engineer. It's really like refine the knowledge, right? And I mean, I'm sure even Elon struggles with this too because he's like super, super genius level. But the key here is taking a big idea, refining it down so that a 5-year-old could understand. And this is applicable to everything and anything. Right.
Hey
We know
guys, are we
you.
doing hands?
Yeah. What's up? Sorry.
I was just asking Pejjy and Fa for doing hands, or if I can just jump in with you guys here.
Yeah, doing
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
hand.
would. I'm not
Doing
offended.
hand. Of course. Yeah, I was listening. Um, the whole
Sorry to interrupt,
thing.
just curious.
Hello, Wes. How's it going?
It's going
How's it
great,
going,
Fa.
my friend?
It's
Yeah,
going very well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So today I just have this sign above my head. If you guys can imagine, it's a 30 trillion. What up, Elon? So I've been carried away because of Elon interview. It's an old interview, and Katie Wood came out and say, "Hey, stock price by 2030 is gonna be basically almost 10x from now, 2600." And she also say, "Hey, this is just a robo taxi. It's not includes Tesla bot that Elon is working very hard." So right now I'm come to the space with everyone and I asked Pejy what do he think, and Pejy say it smell my brain, oh my god, it could go 60 to 70x. And then Brandon is like, I'm so all in, I sell my house, I gonna go work at Tesla. And this um
That's funny.
Tesla friend is like, yo, I used to work there, and conversation carry on. And thank you, what up, what do you think?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's Kathy Wood always gets me excited. You know what I've been thinking about as it relates to this, and then I'm going to ask Tesla a question too in a second. But when I think about the rest of this decade, so we're at, it's 2025. When I'm thinking about 2026, 2027, 28, 29, and 30, I'm very focused on Robotaxi and Optimus to me is kind of like a down the road thing. And what I'm thinking of is when will the critical pieces of the business really hit hard, right? Like on our financial statements. And I do think Robotaxi is next year. Elon said middle of next year, maybe it's late next year. But I often forget about the energy division and also the semis, right? And it's like the energy division is probably going to start hitting pretty hard in 2026, maybe 27, right? So when I think about the stock price, forget about Optimus for a minute. You could almost forget about the Robotaxi network if you want to, but I can't. Um, but energy is going to be kicking in, pretty substantially because of the Shanghai facility there. And I think the amount of opportunity for both the United States, and there's two facilities eventually soon in the United States, and the amount of customers that are the demand for the energy products, particularly the mega pack, is just gargantuous. So I think it's going to have a substantial impact on the stock price 2026, 2027. So when I think about that and Robotaxi hitting in 2026 and then continuing to climb, probably like an inflection point in 27 and really going up. And then I start thinking about the semis, 50,000 semis next year, right? We're building a facility right now, and they're going to make 50,000 next year. And I don't remember what the 2027 number is, but the impact on the financials when you think about not just the cars moving around and not just like food delivery too, which we don't, we don't think about a lot, but now semis and then full self-driving
It's
on
only like
semis.
1.5 now.
And as that scales up, 2027 and 2028 are going to be holy shit crazy, right? And then you got Optimus on top of that. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm just thinking of the next few years and what this stock ramp looks like, assuming we execute well, right? And things work out like we think we will. So, anyways, I'm super excited, and I have to remember we've got so many businesses at Tesla and so many opportunities for the stock to grow. It's just crazy.
Well, and that's what you actually hit something that's very important. So Tesla Energy, I've long said this, that I really don't care about Tesla autos, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Tesla Energy is where the money's at, between that and auto bidder and all that kind of stuff. There's more than enough to gobble up and justify multiple trillions of market cap, especially with the advent of AI and the power consumption needs that are really there. So you have your solar, you have your battery packs, that's fine. With the current macroeconomic, conditions globally, Tesla Energy is really like a hedge, a profit hedge for the entire company. That's the way I view it. And Robotaxi is really your option. It's like that. That's where the prospect really is. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, Optimus is not real. Optimus is not real." Blah blah blah. I can tell you right now for a fact, without revealing anything, Optimus is very, very real. And the Cybercab is not even the opportunity for the Cybercab is not even an auto opportunity. Think of the Cybercab instead of as a car, think of it as a driver's salary. So the cheaper that you can make that driver's salary that's fixed, that's never going to get tired, that's where the pure profit comes in. Right. And that's where the manufacturing as a product comes in. And, we need the power, we need the software to make the manufacturing faster, better, and cheaper. And that is what Tesla's very good at. I think one of the biggest verticals actually that people are missing for some reason, unbeknownst to me, is Tesla lithium refining. That's going to be a money printer, but it's not going to show up externally. It's going to show up in your profit margin, but it's going to get blended with everything else.
And who do you think they're going to sell to?
They're not going to sell. They're going to self-consume because there's
so it wouldn't
not
be
enough
money.
cells. There's not enough cells.
You're just talking about they're going to be able to build more batteries. You're right. We have a battery constraint. One of my biggest concerns about the energy division is that, we have Cattle and BYD and a few others are supplying us, Panasonic included. And until we can really break away and really fuel this thing, no pun intended, the energy division, while it's exciting, is still has a dependency. And so we'll see what happens. Lithium's one of many components that goes into batteries, of course, and I'm glad we're in that business. We'll see, though. I was curious, who here that's a speaker, Pejjy, Fa, anybody, did anybody go to 1010 and see the Robotaxi or the Cybercab, excuse me, up close?
Joseph just went downstairs. He moved to the listener. He been there. Can I invite him back up? Let's see. Wait.
I was there too, Fa. I was just curious, if, particularly with you and Pejjy. Like Pejjy, you're in Kuwait, so I didn't think you came over.
Nothing. I mean, no, I couldn't. I mean, I've only experienced full self-driving once, and that was last year in summer in Toronto, and I was blown away. And that was version 12, and that blew me away. And I can only imagine what the Cybercab would have done to me. But here in Kuwait, not really. I mean, this weekend, I somehow found a Cybertruck here for rental. And I talked to the guy. I'm like, listen, man, give me a good deal. I'll put it on YouTube and stuff. And he gave me a good deal. So I rented out for 3 days starting Thursday in Kuwait. And it's going to be a wild experience. I don't know what to expect. It's going to be, I'll be filming it. I'll be doing a review on it. And the thing has autopilot. Doesn't, of course, in Kuwait, there's no roads here really. But so it's going to be wild.
Dude, I'm excited for you.
Wow, that's awesome.
I know. I was literally driving the other day, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I just see a Cybertruck there, and I'm like, "What the heck is the Cybertruck doing here in the middle of nowhere?" And then I go to the guy. He's like, "Yeah, it's for rental." I'm like, "Huh? What do you mean it's for rental?" And it's, I thought it was fake, but the thing was real. It was a Foundation series. Guy brought it in from Dubai, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" So I pulled the trigger. I'm like, you know what? Let's flip and do it, man. Let's do it. I'm not going to wait till summer to come to Toronto to do it. Let's just do it here in Kuwait right now.
So when are you doing this?
Thursday. I'm picking it up on Thursday. I'll have it for 3 days. So I'm scared to drive that thing, to be honest. I sat in it and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know, man. Especially in Kuwait, because people here in Kuwait drive very recklessly and very aggressively. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's see. I'm excited for it. I'll be recording. Got a GoPro and everything ready. So let's see.
Was there a question about who went to 1010? Yes, I did.
There's
It's
Joseph.
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah,
I didn't go, but I know an obscene amount that I really can't talk about.
I brought it up because Tesla mentioned the Cybercab, and I happened to see it when I was at 1010. I didn't know if anybody on the stage also saw it. It's an exciting product. I did just real quick to address Pejjy though. Hey Pejjy, I've got a Cyber Beast, and the steering on this thing will blow your mind. It is I've been fortunate in my life to have some other nice cars prior to this, but I've never owned anything like this. I think it might be the best vehicle ever made.
What
It's
was the best?
absolutely
What was the
incredible.
best vehicle that you owned?
Non-Tesla would be probably a BMW 750 Li.
Oh man, you just threw everything. You okay? Sure.
What? No,
Well, just
Sorry.
with the,
you
yeah, I'm
get-
sorry. Go ahead,
no,
guys.
you're getting me pumped, Wes. You're getting me pumped.
Dude. Well, let's just say this: if you need to get away from anybody, dude, you are set. You know what I mean? You can run over people. You can outrun them. You can outmaneuver them. I mean, it's just sick. You're gonna love.
Nah,
I can't
FSD
wait to hear
doesn't
it.
run people over, man. He's gonna be on FSD. He's not gonna run people
I
over.
don't think FSD works in Kuwait.
No FSD in Kuwait, man. It's only no FSD in Kuwait.
True. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Here I am thinking that.
I like it. Optimistic.
One day.
I do
I
have a
know
quick
Dubai
question
is going
for.
to come though.
I'm sorry, Pejjy. Go ahead.
No. I'm just saying one day, hopefully. I mean, I know in Dubai, they're working hard to get the FSD up and running there. So I think maybe I'm expecting sometime this year or early next year, Dubai will say to Tesla, because they have a lot of Teslas there. Dubai, I think, for 30% of all vehicles
A
there.
lot. I mean, all the
Yeah.
cab drivers are driving bloody
Oh,
Model
yeah.
3s and soon to be
Yeah.
new Ys, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. They're already getting the roads ready for self-driving stuff. So they're definitely gonna.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be flipping awesome. But in Kuwait, none of that exists. It's a whole different story here.
But you don't have roads, really?
We have, but
Damn, bro. Of course he has roads.
although we have roads,
Jeez.
but they're not maintained. They're not up to date, and it takes them forever to repair a big pothole. Like it's
Oh, so you're in
corrupt.
New York City, basically. Yeah.
100 times worse. I'll say that.
I don't know about that one, bro.
Hey, I do have a question for Tesla, real quick. I was really glad to hear that your experience was that Tesla is a meritocracy. I knew that was true at the headquarters. I was hoping it was true at the various service centers and stores across the world. But what I'm curious about is, do the managers, how do they measure the success of the employees? Is it simply subjective, where it's like, hey, Johnny seems to work harder than Sally? Or is there some kind of metrics of Johnny seems to complete tasks 3 minutes faster than Sally does? Is there any
Yeah, they're absolutely.
measurable?
Yeah, there's absolutely measurables. So the measurables change significantly, though. It really depends on what the focus is of the company is at the time. And they
Bro,
do like
that's not a good idea.
they do like your
Go blind
evaluations
date. Oh
every
my
month or
God.
so. But I'll give you an example. So for the better part of like, I would say like after the first year or so, I got to training like hundreds of people. So I wasn't like, instead of me taking a lead capture or booking a test drive, I would make somebody else do it and show them how to do it and all that stuff. That there was a directive for one of the layoff rounds where they were trying to can me. And basically I had somebody who was like our regional, I think like tri-state or whatever it was. He came, he's like, Ted, I'm doing my best to basically fight this. And you gotta like, you gotta give me somebody to work with so I could just shut them up, right? Because it's coming from upper management. I'm like, sure. What do you need me to do? He's like, go crazy this weekend. I ended up selling 183 Model S's in 2 days. And I never had a problem again. So it's one of those things where, like, if you're BSing, it'll be very clear that you're BSing. And even if you're a really good BSer, it'll shake out eventually in a couple quarters, and then you'll shake out and leave the company. But if you're
Well,
actually good and you have the right intent, then you're good. You're golden. You're good to go.
I guess what I'm curious about, I'm sorry, just to be real quick, to put a fine point on my question, or maybe to articulate it better, what electronic verification of metrics is available where a manager's not just saying, I think Johnny works harder? Obviously,
Yeah.
I think you made a good point about car sales. That clear, Johnny sells more than Sally.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
what are some other like non-managerial observations are there that are electronics, where you have a feedback loop?
Yeah, I mean, customer surveys are a big one. So like CSAT scores are critically important. When it comes to service, your takt time and how efficient you're actually doing things, that's much more like objective, I'll say. And truthfully, like, what's your yield rate? And like for delivery, if you're helping out with deliveries, how many errors are there with deliveries? I mean, it's less so now because the systems are so sophisticated. But back when Tesla didn't have their own homegrown system, they were coordinating financing, leasing, etc., along with the customer's delivery schedule and everything. There was like a million things that could go wrong in the chain. So like your yield rate was critically important at the time. But in terms of like if you're sitting like if you go to like a Tesla store, let's say a meat packing district or whatever it is, right? You can't really deliver cars there, but you can absolutely capture leads and follow up with people and make sure they have a good experience. Those are all measured.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. Sorry to hijack the conversation, guys. I do have one
No
other thing,
problem.
if I may. Or you guys, I've got a lot
No,
of caffeine
go
in me.
on.
Okay, thank you. I'm curious what everybody's opinion is, Pejjy, Fi, anybody, on how they're going to. Um, I want to use the word feather, but that's just not the best word. As they release or they have 10 to 20 robo taxis running around Austin, as they decide to increase the numbers of vehicles available, they're going to have to allow more customers in in a balanced approach, right? You can't have like 10,000 customers and only 10 cars because we're going
Exactly.
to have a lot of pissed off customers. But you can't have 10,000 cars and only 10 customers because no one's going to be using the cars. And so, one thing that Tesla's not really great at because they really don't put a lot of effort into it is marketing. And there's going to have to be, I would assume, some kind of external communication. I don't know if it'll be a wait list or what, but somehow they're going to have to start growing the customer base, the amount of people that have the app that can call vehicles in balance with the growing number of vehicles. Do you guys have any thoughts on how they'll communicate with customers to kind of open that up where it's in sync with supply and demand?
I have a feeling they're gonna by invite only at the beginning. So let's say you have the app, maybe two way to block it, which is are you able to get the app to begin with, or even if you have the app, you have to have the official invite by Tesla, maybe based on your geolocation. Before you can actually call the taxi, so it will be gradually increase the number of potential customer based on number of vehicle available in that area. That's my current thinking.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. And they'll have their address that way. And as they're opening this thing up geographically speaking, they know which people to contact. That's cool.
Wes,
I
I
mean,
mean, you
I
got a
think
bunch of Tesla nerds here that will fly down there and like support the company and like whatever you know path they take. You don't think demand's going to be is going to be a problem?
Hey Eddie, what's up, man? I don't think it's a problem. I think it's just a matter of they got to balance it, right? So as they scale, they got to scale supply and demand have to scale together so they don't piss off people or I guess you could err on the side of too much supply. You're not going to piss people off. We'll have some cost of extra cars running around not being utilized, but I guess you're going to want to try to balance that to some degree.
I mean, they absolutely will, and there's this misconception that Tesla's not good at marketing. They they're very good at marketing. They're just not good at advertising. That's what we're thinking about, that outward bound thing. I think the low hanging fruit, and actually, I don't know why this just occurred to me, but for all I know, it could be in the pipes. What they need to do is they need to get those robo taxis to pick people up and drive them to their Tesla delivery, as long as they don't have a trade in. I think that's low hanging fruit right there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
Tesla Ted,
maybe
do you mind if I ask him a question?
no, I don't mind.
Oh,
But I have a question. Go ahead,
okay.
Eddie.
So this is something Wes and I have been going back and forth on. So my take is that um, it doesn't help Tesla to decrease the price of each ride quickly. I mean, you want to, one, you want to have that market share and you want to have that price be like the market price be as high as possible for as long as possible. You don't want to kill the market basically, right? By just adding a lot of supply. And so my take is that I think that's what their fleet management software, the backend software is going to do to try to manage, control that so that the car has high utilization and, to keep the price high, not, not on purpose, obviously, but not like Enron, but, as long as possible so that they could get as much profit as possible. What's your take on that?
Are you
And by
talking
the way,
about the
Eddie, we're in
Robotaxi
agreement.
specifically?
Yeah, the network, and no, the rides, and then the taxi as well. I mean, that's kind of Tesla's playbook is to sell it high first, and then as production ramped, they'll lower the price to get more sales.
For a Robotaxi, it'll be interesting. I mean, in my opinion, there will be some form of like surge pricing, but I think there's going to be a cap. And at the initial onset, at least, the way it's going to work, and I'll be completely on front. If Tesla deems the FSD software as in its least reliable state, it's going to be cheaper because that's going to be the risk that the rider is going to bear. But as reliability goes up, it absolutely is going to go up, at least to the market price. And I don't think the goal is to really squeeze anybody out per se right now. But if it is something that's going to better and be beneficial for humanity, they'll make it cheaper and they'll make it up a volume. And fundamentally, the other thing that's going to drive down the cost of this is going to be the cost of the robotaxi going down.
Mm.
Nail it, nail it. So I love this, and I think I listened to someone on YouTube. One of you guys, oh, Fasad or someone.
Mm.
Fasad say the other day, say, hey, it's gonna be in Tesla app, in the app that all of us already have, and it's gonna add Robotaxi in it. And you can just go in, just like in your car, you can just say, hey, I want this temperature. I want my music already on. And maybe it's have an inbox or have blink on your screen say, this Robotaxi that you see right here, right now, it's cost only 37,000. You can own it. And you can use it whenever you want to use, and it can make money for you. So instead of paying a car for what 600 a month, maybe if you put it on a network for this hour and you only pay 350, and then people are gonna start jumping in on it. When this is my thought, I don't know, I don't work for Tesla, and I don't think I'm smarter than anyone that work for Tesla, but this is my speculation. I think when they have example 100 car, just 100 car in Fremont factory in Bay Area, in South Bay, in Sausalito, not Sausalito, not Sausalito, in Palo Alto, where they actually are, the price can be more than Uber. This is here, this is why.
Mm.
Because people like me will rather pay more from the beginning, because I don't want to sit in the back seat and smelling someone. So if Uber asks me for 15 and the Robotaxi, which is look so cool and it feels so clean, and I don't have to smell anyone, and I have to pay 18, I be like that one, right? However, when it's deploy, employ, or whatever the word is, when it's boom 1,000 car or boom 3,000 car in one city, right? The price can be like Uber ask for 15, they probably ask for 5. So
Mm.
this is how I see it. One trouble that is trouble my mind. Okay. In the first few months, the Elon hater gonna go in the
Mm.
car and spray Nazi on the white
Mm.
seat. People
Nah,
gonna do some
I don't
not
think so.
so nice in the car, you know? So that is my worry. And a lot, because it's Tesla and it's Elon, and because the name of it, they're gonna run with it, and we're gonna be a bunch of fun that we're gonna be like, oh, this is annoying. So
Well,
I don't know, Pejjy, what do you think?
I'll say this. I mean, yeah, for sure, we'll have some fun in the first, I would say, few weeks, maybe a month, couple months. 100%, we'll definitely have some fun, and you know, we'll have a lot of these articles coming out, making some weird and crazy, untrue statements as they usually do. But I'm already predicting that by October we're gonna have more. Tesla's gonna have more robo taxis on the road than Waymo is. I'm pretty confident about that.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, I'm right, Trevor. So I'm thinking by October, maybe around 1,000, because they're gonna put it in multiple cities, not just one. And by end of the year, as Elon said, it'll be in many cities in the United States. So I think the scale will be really fast. Like in the beginning, it'll be sluggish because of like, okay, maybe it does some weird stuff. Maybe it's whatever the issue is. But once they hit a point, they hit a spot where it's just good. It's just 99.9999999%. Because nothing's ever 100%. But when it goes to that high statistic point where it's like an accident in 1 million miles. I don't know. I'm just saying something out, right? Like they're so sure. The scale is going to be so fast. It's going to be okay. Every city who allows it and the jurisdiction allows it. Okay, let's go. It's just we're gonna see a lot of robotaxis just entering the. I don't know how Tesla's gonna do it. I know they said it's gonna Uber, Airbnb, kind of like entering the robotaxi network, but it's gonna be it's gonna be quick, very quick.
The singularity.
Yes.
Yeah, there are two questions in my mind when they launched the service. For I want to hear you guys' opinion really. The first one is, let's say I am lucky enough to get invited to be the customer. I got a Cybercab or I got a Model Y, whatever, unsupervised FSD. Can I go from? Can I get outside of Austin, or must I stay in Austin? Can I take a long trip? Can I go to Vegas? That's the first question. Second one is, let's say Tesla, the Cybercab or the Robotaxi run into any dead end or any irreversible condition. Will there be teleoperator to take over and drive the customer to out of that situation and then resume driving? Do you guys have any opinion or insight how that may work?
I think in the beginning it will be geofenced on purpose, so they don't get people going around to state to state. Not yet. I think that makes sense. And the what was the second point? I forgot about that.
Teleoperator.
Yes, they're already. So according to what I think it was what Elon said in the earnings call, or I think it was the earnings call. They said that they do have teleoperators just in case if something goes wrong, they can just handle it from wherever they are, wherever their office is or whatever it is. They did mention that as well, and there is job listing of that as well, teleoperator for the bot and the robotaxi. So yeah, that's what I think.
Thank you.
Anytime, Joseph. So I do want to say one thing, though. I do want to say that in the beginning of this space, we did mention Joseph and I and the Fab. We did mention about we talked about what the stock price could do in the short term and how it's kind of dangerous to use puts or use calls, because it could go either way at this point, right? It could go either way. What I'm expecting is I think there's going to be a run up until the Robotaxi day. Then I think there'll be sell the news. But then right now, because Tesla is trading not on fundamentals, but on news, anything could happen, dude. Anything could happen. I think we're going to see one of the most volatile. I think we're going to see a very volatile second half of 2025 until we get some solid guidance and numbers that Wall Street can rely on, because we can't rely on autos anymore. That's we can't do that anymore. So it has to be the other stuff, which is the energy, and the big one right now is the Robotaxi and FSD. It's these things that we need to have, or Wall Street wants to see actual numbers so it can justify and reduce the volatility of the stock. So that's going to take some time. So I think the second half of 2025 is going to be awesome for Tesla, but I think it's going to be the most volatile that we've ever seen it. It's going to be crazy. So I don't know. That's just my thoughts. I'm just putting it out there.
Hey, Pejjy, I'll just add that, and you guys already mentioned FUD a moment ago, but I think the FUD is going to be unlike anything we've ever seen, if that can be believed. Every time a robotaxi stalls, hits a squirrel, these organizations live on clicks and views, and this is going to be a cash cow for them. And it concerns me a bit, the impact that may have to the folks that aren't hanging out in spaces like this, right? So we'll see, but I think it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, they're always going to be the main target of attack here because anytime you have a major disruptor like Tesla, and the people in this space know Tesla is not a car company, and that's not the future of the entire company, but they're always going to have that massive target, and then you add Doge and all of that other activity on top, and the politicizing and all the macroeconomics. It's going to always be like that, and I agree with you, Wes. It is a major concern here, but like Pejjy was saying, in the long term, I think we're going to go through an extreme period of volatility followed by a little bit of consensus, which is once we start seeing, not only the robo-taxis functioning, but the first signs of AI and automation. And for me, like one of the big ones that really excites me is the standardization of charging, where Tesla is going to basically own EV charging across the entire US and be able to license and lease that out, and it's going to become more of a software as a service company. So it's very exciting what's going to come, but you're right. We are, like, everyone gets it. We're about to go in for a wild ride, and I would warn anybody who's thinking of causing any sort of damage to one of these taxis that you are being recorded, and I think there's going to be a lot of prosecutions to come near the beginning from that. But it's going to be a wild ride this year. But I think that we all know eventually where we're going at the end.
And one of the things I'm excited for is, we're launching in Austin. I do think, I don't know how familiar everybody is with Texas, but San Antonio is rather close. There's three big cities in Atlanta. There's many big cities, but San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas. And what I'm wondering is, what's the infrastructure need to look like to start making, allowing these vehicles to travel, further to, let's say, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio? Will they have to put in like a depot or depots in between these large cities that are, where you get out of one vehicle and get into another? And of course, something like that has to happen, but I'm kind of curious about when that'll happen, right? Like when we break out of one city's geographical area and we can start doing larger commutes. That's just one of the many things. There's so much going on, but that's just one of the many things I'm excited to see and how they do it. And when that happens, it'll be fun. But I think San Antonio is the first city that they'll be able to go to because it's so close to Austin. That's a guess on my part.
Wes, don't we just call that Buc-ee's?
Right on. Well, I think they're going to have, some Tesla employees at these places cleaning up cars, swapping them out, charging, that kind of thing. But anyways,
I would
that was
I would
funny.
actually hope on the other end is the consumer side. I mean, I would love under my company to have a wing that just services robo taxis, to be honest. Like I would set up a warehouse here in Austin and just service these things and charge them, and of course we're gonna have Tesla employees, but I would love if there's some sort of third party company access to provide third party servicing along the route, because that opens up some major small business opportunities across the entire network.
That would be wild if they actually do that. Like, hey, here, if you operate more than 10 or 5 cybercabs, we'll give you the right to service them in your own property or whatever it is you want to service them. That'd be wild.
That's
Or
a great
we'll
idea.
or we'll provide them to you and give you a percentage of the revenue if you keep up proper service. There's a
Yep.
lot of opportunities
Oh
there.
yeah, that's actually crazy.
The more people buy into the ecosystem for robotaxi, the better. We cannot monopolize the whole business. Otherwise, it kills too many business, kill too many jobs, and people naturally hate the company. So we must involve, and revenue sharing by third parties is one way to do it. Really important.
Yeah, and it's less stress on Tesla themselves too, and less liability for them as well. So
Yeah, exactly.
dope. I mean, this could be an actual
Wait,
possibility. I mean, that'd be
wait,
insane.
I
It's
have question.
almost a given, to be honest, because the level of quality and consistency, you're going to have way better levels of service with individual local
Huh.
places than you are
That's
just
actually
a general
interesting.
conglomerate across across the entire
Hmm.
nation.
It's crazy.
I have question for everyone here. Just try to pick your brain. Um, so if my car be able to go to work, and if something happen, like it's drive in a bus lane, or it's drive through the red light, or it's run stop sign, and it's got a ticket, who own that ticket? Tesla or me?
Well,
Tesla.
Are, yeah, Tesla would be liable in that case because they're the licensor of the software, and you're the consumer, even though you're operating as a business in that way. So generally speaking, it's probably going to be tied into the overall insurance policy that Tesla's going to blanket out for the
mm,
entire thing.
sheesh. When you look at everything, it's all connected very well. Tesla, they got the insurance, they've got software, they've got the
Vertical integration,
vertical
it's
integration.
amazing.
It's absolutely mind-boggling and mind-blowing when you when you just zoom out and see what they're doing. It's all making sense now when we keep going to the future.
I also want to talk about the Robotaxi take rate. I see
Mm,
some posts on X. Some people say, "Hey, I did a survey," and people say the take rate not going to be as high as expected because people don't want to get rid of the truck. They love car ownership. They will never willing to let go and just use a Robotaxi service. And then I didn't really write that out, but I can talk from my personal experiences. All my um, all my kids and all my kids' friends or the next generation,
mm.
none of them want to drive. They are waiting to be driven. Open an app,
Facts.
call a car to come by, pick them up, and in the car they can play with the iPad and phone and do whatever thing they want to do, gaming, entertainment, and then just let the car take them over to wherever they want to go. So if you look at the current generation or maybe like Gen X and all that, millennial, maybe they are not as ready to take robotaxi. But I'm telling you, the next generation and beyond, most of them don't want to drive. So that's my argument.
No, it's crazy because when you look at driving centers today, you don't see 16 or 17 or 18-year-olds going to get their license. Because I remember when I turned 16 in Toronto, we can go for our G1, and as soon as I turned 16 or 17, I went there. I'm like, no, I want to get this thing as soon as possible. But today you don't see that. It's like I'm when you ask them, it's like, why don't you go and get your license? It's like, why should I? Uber is here and Lyft is here, and I'll get it when I'm like 25 or 26 when I need. But it's like the shift in the mindset of people of the new generation that wants to drive or not even drive, just how they want to commute. It aligns very well with robo taxis because it's just you don't have to drive anymore. I mean, that's it. It'll be everywhere. And I think in about 10, 15 years, you don't even have to get a driver's license in developed countries because it won't be, you don't have to, I mean, I'm sure you
I,
still
I
can
never
get
ex-
it.
I never expect that because to us, our generation, driving is a way to like, freedom, right? It's freedom. Car ownership is a joy, but to them, it's a burden. It's
Yeah.
like something. Do I have to do it? I'm like, what? Wouldn't you want to drive? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm like, what? It's really
This is
surprising to me.
there's economic factors too, right? We're growing up in two totally different times. Like Pejjy, for me, not to have the Vancouver Toronto beef, but I grew up in Vancouver, BC, and it's the same thing. We all, in high school, we were rushing to go get our first cars and those beater cars or whatever they were. To get out there to have that freedom. And my daughter is 13 years old and she
Mm.
wants a Tesla as her only car, but she wants it because it has full self-drive. She likes the idea of that. And I know a lot of executives and a lot of people who spend that FSD time getting work done. So to be able to do that without actually having to pay attention, I think the level of efficiency is going to be like very high for them as well, saving time during their day. But you're right, 100% on the current generation. They just do not have any interest. I think the economic factors of owning a car and the costs of that do play into that quite a bit with cost of living.
Like you guys all have children, right? Me too. And just thinking about like you don't have to
I
go
don't have
pick up
children.
your kid at a soccer game or something. Like if they have baseball or something, you don't have to go. Sit in your car, get there, sit, sit, wait for them to
Oh my
ready to
god.
get in the car and drive back. I mean, someone might enjoy it. They might have their own like party time, go get pizza, go get ice cream. They might enjoy it, but the amount of time that you can gain back and like I don't know. If I have daughter, I don't want someone to go pick up my kid. What if they're creepy, right? I just want a robot to do it.
Hey, Far, by the way, it's actually happening in the Bay Area where Waymos operate. Most of the parents who has to work, they just call a car. So they pick up the kid to go after school program. And then when they're done, they call the parents and say, hey, I'm ready to go home. And then they'll send a car, pick up the kid, and drive them home. It's already happening. It's just that it's not happening around outside of Bay Area, so people not really experience it. But in Bay Area, it's happening in real time already.
The one thing that I love about Elon Vision, go back to Elon. Um, he fixed the problem that all of us feel like the traffic, the soul sucking in traffic. He fixed this problem, the full self driving. Like you don't have to sit there like pay attention. And I love it if one day the car can drive me from my house to Las Vegas or to Yosemite, and I just pack my stuff. When I get there, the car just go. And if I want to go back to home, the car come get me at Yosemite. Like thinking about a rural area like Montana,
Yeah.
Big Sky, or Lake Tahoe, the other side of Lake Tahoe in Clay Village, where it's already hard to get anyone there. And I think the way it's gonna work is people like us, like people who actually like experience it, and then you have a second house there or something, and you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna pay 37 grand here, and it's gonna go work right here. And if I come here, it's gonna go take care of me, and if I'm not here, it's just gonna go to work. If if my car AI3 can work, I'm gonna send it to work and I'm gonna buy the foundation from the liberal that cry about Elon doing Doge. I just like, what? You bought your car for 100,000 and you want to let it go for 50,000 because you hate Elon? I'm buying right
I'll
now.
buy one.
Yeah, me too.
So the future is bright, and all of us, I think some of us here might feel the pain when Elon have to sell the stock to buy Twitter. And now, like 2 years later, we don't even like, oh, that thing happened, yeah,
Exactly.
whatever, right? The Doge is gonna be the same thing. We're gonna be like, oh, what? Oh, yeah, he saved a bunch of trillion for the government. Oh, whatever, right? When it spike again, my friend, hold tight. This roller coaster is fun. It's a real time fun. I'm like junkie addict or something. I'm just look at my phone, check Tesla stock all the time. I'm not even do anything with it. But if it's red, like 6% down, I'm buy. But I'm buy two. I'm buy two. My husband is like, Mother Day, you want to do anything? I'm like, buy Tesla stock
Oh
before
my
it's go
god.
300. Oh,
Yeah, a lot of
it's
people.
not enough.
It's not enough. I'm still accumulating shares, to be honest. To be
Oh
honest,
my god,
a lot
Joseph.
a lot of people talk about, hey, in order for Tesla stock to go up, we must the Robotaxi number has to reach certain number so that people know it's a real business, is generating revenue. But that's another point of view I have is that once people realize Robotaxi is operating and they can be a part of the ownership, they can make money by sending the car into the fleet and make money. I think that's the point where the stock really will jump because they realize it's not a depreciating item, it's an appreciating asset that can
Mm,
generate money. So the more people start realizing that, I think the more it will reflect in the stock price. But as far as how long, I really don't know. But I think that's one of the things to monitor is like when people are, when the mass public are waking up, realizing is, oh my God, it's a appreciating asset. I can and sell it, it'll make money for me. So let's see how it goes.
I think this is just my funny thought. Thank you, Joseph. I think so. I agree. What if they have the robotaxi with no steering wheel and no pedal, just like the Model Y or the shiny go shiny thing, and they have a QR code. Just stick a QR code on the door. People who walk past it take a picture and just download the app and they say, "Welcome. Would you like to go somewhere?" Something like that. I think people will download it. And come on, you just sit in a car, right? And you look outside the window, and it's like, my driver smells so bad. This guy is like didn't shower or something. And then you look on your right, that car is have no driver and have a QR code. What up? And as soon as you have Tesla app, Tesla can say so much to the when we look at the app, like they can be like, this car so shiny, like what, $25,000? You can pay 450 a month, or you can put it to work and pay 100 a month. What do you think about it? And I don't know, people gonna F it. They're gonna be like, confirm, I want to buy this shit now. And the fun part, this is me go crazy right now. Elon said on X that if you buy a car and the car gonna deliver it itself to your house. That is when people gonna realize that I should not buy Google. I should buy Tesla. Just a sidetrack for a bit. Google have a tough time. I'm listening to all in podcasts that talk about it. Um, People don't do search engine anymore. They do AI, they chat GPT and Grok and everything. Dude, and the car gonna be able to talk to you like Grok too. Hello, Henry. Welcome, my friend.
Hi, Pa. Hi, everyone. I love the excitement, the energy in this space. It's awesome. Um, I'm not sure. I've been waiting for the spring update, and I finally got it a couple of days ago. And one thing I was waiting to test out was the adaptive headlights because at nighttime my eyes are kind of sensitive, and I loved how um, Tesla's headlights worked to light up the road signage. But one thing I felt bad was the oncoming traffic. Um, where I live, the drivers are not shy to kind of tell me that my high beams are on. But with the spring update, I tested it out, and as subtle as it is, it works. This time it works, and you could tell because when there's no cars in the road and let's say the high beams are on, and as soon as a car comes in the opposite way, that lane to let's say to your left, let's say the car is coming oncoming, that side of the pixel, I would say, is dimmed, and you could definitely see that. So that it's that was my little piece of a thank you to Elon's team this week, uh, and the price action definitely very different. Just like the energy in the space, um, well, I look at the order flow a lot. That's what I concentrate on day to day. And wow, 100, 200 um, size on the asks were just like gobbled up. And typically, even when it's about let's say 50,000 shares on the ask, and it dips back, there's not enough bids. That's why on the typical day, Tesla kind of moves kind of erratically, and a lot of times to the downside. But on Friday, oh boy, there were absorption. There, it wasn't shown, it wasn't lit, but you could tell by the time in sales and at certain uh, levels, it just wouldn't budge. But there was trading happening, which is basically an iceberg, and it, that's what excites me. And then combine that with the options, the the open interest at 300, that really explains what. See, order flow kind of explains how the price moves up or down, but options kind of explains why the price moved. And once it broke through 300, I can imagine the market makers started having to hedge. Didn't last a long time up there, but boy, am I excited! I mean, with everything that the speaker panels talked about on Robotaxi, on the upcoming events to progress that we have to look forward to. Um, it's I think now showing on the day-to-day trading, especially this Friday. This week was good, but Friday was like, eh, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but something tells me, and it'd be interesting to see. The 13 Fs are due out on the 15th. That's when the institutions have to report what they did in the first quarter. And a lot of people say that it's not a perfect gauge. Nothing's perfect, but the, for institutions that didn't purchase versus the ones that did, and obviously there are going to be ones that did sell during the first quarter. But if we go past the 15th, heading into the end of the monthly close in May, and the price action is in the 300s, um, that's going to tell a lot based on what the 13F shows from a Tesla position perspective. And what you call it, the I pinned it on the top. The overall market, it the bounce back from the COVID low that month, the month that marked the COVID low, and last month's XPX bounce, that wick, guys, take a look. It's like we were we still didn't get out the tariff situation, and the XPX is like it just rejected that low, and it's like I think 18-20%. I don't know what's the best word to say, but it's off that low on I think 18-20% now. So I think we have a lot of tailwinds. I mean, anything can happen, but in we don't have, besides UK, a tariff agreement. But even with where we are right now, the market has been very resilient. And with that backdrop, if that continues, it bodes well for Tesla stock, because you want an overall market that's kind of steady at least, and not working against you. And that's what I see. Look at the QQQs on Friday. It closed flat, but Tesla was up almost 5%. So I really love to see the market just wobble around here, not go back down. But that's really going to be, some a catalyst, an additional catalyst, like a tailwind, um, for Tesla stock, in my opinion. Because the Friday's action was, I haven't seen that in a while, where there was absorptions and liquidity on the upside that just you don't see a couple of 100,000 shares that's lit just taken away. Um, so yeah, combine that with a couple of days, we see the 13Fs. That's going to tell me not exactly what the institutions are done because are doing right now, because it's the 13Fs is until March of this year, the first quarter. But the price action where it is after they report is going to be indicative of what the market wants to do with Tesla.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's very interesting to see what Tesla did. I mean, I don't think the um the reporting of the 13F for Q1 is gonna look too good because we did have a sell-off in Q1. But we'll see. I think definitely right now institutions are buying it. Again, my theory is that the stock will go up until Robotaxi Day. Then it'll sell the news event 10-15%, whatever it is, maybe. And then it'll be like, okay, you know we sold the news. Now you have Robotaxis happening. Tell us the numbers. How much you're going to grow by? How much are the margins going to be? What you know how just show us numbers. Show me the money. That's what's going to be. And I don't think we're going to get a reliable number until the fourth quarter of this year, of this year. Yeah, then it can be like, we're growing about 30% every quarter, 50%, 100%, whatever the number is going to be. Margins are like this, and we expect to start unsupervised FSD in China and then in other countries, and the scale is going to go ballistic. Of course, in their own countries, respectable countries. I mean, it's not gonna. I mean, the only thing that's stopping a worldwide release of this is jurisdiction and rules and laws and regulation in other countries. In U.S., we'll see how it goes in the U.S., but I think it'll be much faster than we think. Maybe in China, the same thing, but in Europe, maybe some parts of the Middle East, um,
Canada.
Canada. Yeah, I think Canada will be quick as well. But some countries will be fast in scaling, others won't be. But as soon as those separate countries hit that little point where everything's good and the consumer wants it, the customer wants it, the sentiment, the narrative, and the wants of the customers switch, we're going to see a massive wave of robo taxis happening in all countries. But that's the beauty about Tesla, right? There's no other country, there's no other company that can do this. Like, Waymo or I don't know, whatever silly other company that we keep comparing it to. It's just there's none. Tesla is second to none really out there. So it's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be an awesome time at the time and to witness what's going to happen. And I'm just excited. I'm pumped. I'm just pumped for it. So let's see what's going to happen for the second half of 2025. And sheesh is all I got to say. Fa, what do you have to say?
I say like, yo,
We're about to go, man.
Sam,
Eddie,
I'm
we're
a
going to go,
fan,
man.
and Elon keeps saying 2 weeks for years.
Hmm.
And now it's actually gonna be a few weeks, and it's gonna be in June. And all the fanboy who can fly there, they're gonna make a bunch of content. I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. Um, I know we should wrap up, but Eddie is here, and I miss Eddie, so I'm gonna let him speak. Yo, Eddie, what up? Hello. So
Do you mind if I ask a question, Pop?
I don't mind.
With Trevor, and I think Pejjy has some experience in Canada. I think in in the United States, with Elon being being the president's best buddy, and all, I don't think they'll have a problem like having states adopt FSD and have Tesla insurance because they're going to want the taxes from that revenue. But how is that going to work in Canada? And how's that going to because I see a lot of like political crap with Elon in Canada, and then the same thing goes for like China and Mexico. I was hoping you guys could talk about that.
I mean, Canada's a bit of a
sure.
beast here. Sorry, Pejjy, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead. You just started.
Yeah, Canada's a bit of a beast because we have a unique system in Canada where insurance is based in some provinces. it's provincial, it's a single payer system, and then it's free market in other provinces. So you do have a lot of provincial jurisdiction when it comes to approvals of these types of systems. And I think that that's going to also cross over with Transport Canada on the federal level as well. I don't think it's going to be the politicizing as much. We just have a bit of a less smooth bureaucracy when it comes to studies and complaints and things like that. So it takes a little bit more time in Canada to get deployments. Like obviously I live here in Austin, Texas now, and the deployments of updates here that I would get compared to my Tesla in Canada, it's much different the amount of time it takes. And you know, we have a lot of
Mm.
varying weather conditions in Canada too, and also a lot of roadways that just, to be honest with you guys, don't have lines painted on them correctly to make this system work. So there's a lot of variables per province. So I think we're going to see a geo rollout, basically in the areas that can sustain it. You're going to see that rollout first, become a proof of concept, and then the rest of the provinces will have to keep up with it. That's my opinion on Canada. But I think China's going to be a lot easier, to be honest.
Mm.
But Canada's going to take a bit of time. It's going to be a bit piecemeal at the beginning.
Yeah, and the thing about to add to that is that it does get a little political too. Unfortunately, here in Canada, it's I was hoping for the Conservatives to win so they can bring the common sense back, but because of the fear of Trump, they elected. I mean, I voted Conservative, but the majority vote. Well, I mean, it was a very close tie, but I mean, the Liberals
Same.
won. Yeah, I mean, so I was kind of heartbroken that the Liberals won because their intentions is censorship and more bureaucracy and more red tape. So I'm just like, I don't know. But I think, but no, the Canadians who own Teslas, I know a lot of them that they use FSD, and it works fine. They have the latest they have the latest version too. So um, again, I guess it just comes down to what Trevor said, right? Um, the federal government and the provinces and the slow rollout. I think China will definitely go ahead and beat Canada in this, which is kind of embarrassing. But I think that's a reality that I've accepted. So, but yeah, well,
But Pejjy,
yeah,
would you agree though with Canada? Like we had a lot of problems, even rolling out Uber in Vancouver. This is
yeah.
it's one, like we had some serious issues here with. We have a lot of unions and cartels that kind of own different industries within that nation, and it made it very hard to even get ride sharing there. But eventually, the populace is going to push back. Like you said, we had a very close election on this one, very close, a record-setting election, even though it's not the result we wanted. But
Mm.
I think that the people are going to start pushing back and wanting these services. And once we start to see what happens in the U.S. and the proof of concept, then that demand is going to get even stronger. And I just want to kind of mention one thing. With somebody had mentioned advertising. First off, all of us are going to be the most amazing advertisers for Tesla. We always will be, and this is all going to be showing off quite a bit. And if you remember at the beginning when Elon was putting the first Starlink dishes up, he put like, okay, we got 20 up, we got 50 up, and he would just keep posting that. We got 100, we got 1,000. I think that's what we're going to see in Q4 here. We're going to see him just put up, boom, 1,000 taxis out, 2,000 taxis out, 3,000, 10,000, and it's going to go from there. And that's going to put pressure on all these other nations to adapt. So
Yeah, that's a very good,
Oh,
a
if
very good
Elon
point.
do that, I will be so happy. All right, friend. I gonna have to go because this late night in Pejjy land and my land, my
Chile.
kid about to get up. So I love all the speaker here, all my friend. Thank you so much for come join us, and all the listener too. Thank you for your time and come hang out with us. Don't let the fat shake you. Keep adding. One more thing. One more last thing, dude. Trump say buying stock. It's not even I'm saying it.
Hmm?
Trump saying it. Trump say,
Oh.
I don't know. You guys probably want to buy stock right now because our country gonna go boom, boom, boom. So not financial advice. I'm keep adding in the red day. I'm happy with it. And just remember when we were like sharing for 420 in December, it is coming back, my friend. All right. No one know when it's gonna go rocket up, but 420 coming back for sure. Hello, Bohemia, you come when my kid about to sleep. I tag you for next week. Come
Yes.
12:30. I gonna make a link. I gonna post in the comment. Go look at Pejjy YouTube video. Go look at Henry chart. Everybody have the rest of the weekend good. Your time, your energy, use it well. I love you all. Bye.
Bye bye, guys. See you next week. Alrighty, so we're back here, and oh my god, that took. I mean, we went half an hour over what we're supposed to do, but sheesh, good stuff, good stuff. Anyways, it's 12:30 where I am, and I've already posted a video today too, and there's a podcast being uploaded tomorrow. And if you're a channel member, you guys already know it was actually pretty awesome podcast with a ex-Rivian tech team founder, second hire after the founder of Rivian. It's gonna be insane. Next podcast, I have someone coming in. He was a Doge advisor. He met the president of the United States, Elon Musk, Kathy Woods, and he's coming on the channel. I'm pumped. It's already scheduled, and I hope you guys are ready for that because I'm pumped for that. So get ready for that, guys. Make sure you guys smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and become a channel, guys. It's only $2 a month, and you guys get these awesome exclusive videos and early access to some of these awesome podcasts that are coming. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Have an awesome weekend, and I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.